Go ahead, Derek.
Derek.
I didn't even notice that it was done yet. I was like freaking out. Jeez. All right. Well, that was my fault, folks, and apparently I'm off to a great start. Welcome everyone to another episode of the show that really aims to be on time, which apparently we do a miserable.
I await the word of Vigo.
We're not done yet. All right. Welcome everyone to Dad's Turn to Talk, and like most of the folks on this show, especially one of our co-hosts, you're going to need church probably to stop by again after this show. So I clearly need some because I don't have a Holy Ghost of a chance in hell to redeem myself from what just happened. All right, after that, let's move on to our guest for the host for the evening. Excuse me, Bob. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. Are you sure you're fine?
I'm all right.
I wait the word of Vigo.
You're giving Josh a run for his money here, man.
Oh my God, that was perfect timing.
No, I'm doing good, man. It's good to be here. We're gonna have some fun tonight. Got some cool stuff to talk about. So, and a movie I hadn't watched in a while, so it was really cool getting to watch it.
Very good. All right, now that I must, Josh, how are you?
I am good. You know, they say laughter is the best medicine. That was awesome.
Yeah, you think I'm gonna make you laugh tonight?
We wait the word of Vigo.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm good. How are you doing, Derek? Are you good?
Yeah, now I'm fine, apparently. All right, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's go ahead and just make sure that we remind everybody to, what's that, boys? Like?
Subscribe, like.
Yes, there we are. That is at the bottom of the screen there. The little thumbs up, and then subscribe is right next to it. As another point of order, we do timestamp our episodes. So if there's a topic that you would like to jump to, you can feel free to go ahead and do that. But, you know, now that I've already screwed up the show, what's it going to kill you to just sit around and wait a little bit and watch the whole thing? So we'd appreciate it if you would do that. All right. Now, if we're going to aim to get our act right here, why don't we go ahead and move on to the news, Bob?
Love that music.
All right, so it's time for the news. Bob, why don't we start off with our first story around another sale potential that's happening?
Yeah,
big one.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, Warner Brothers has finally admitted that they are listening to acquisition offers from different parties. There's actually a couple of articles regarding this here, and so we're going to look at this first one here. It says Warner Brothers Discovery says it is evaluating acquisition offers from multiple parties. Warner Brothers Discovery is reviewing strategic alternatives in light of unsolicited interest it has received from multiple parties for both the entire company and the standalone Warner Brothers streaming and studios entity, the media conglomerate said Tuesday. Warner Brothers Discovery did not say which companies have made overtures, but the announcement comes after Paramount Skydance, headed by Chairman and CEO David Ellison, has been pursuing a major deal to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery in its entirety. In recent weeks, Warner Brothers Discovery reportedly rejected Paramount Skydance $20 per share offer as too low. On Tuesday morning, the board of Warner Brothers Discovery turned down a mostly cash bid of nearly $24 per share from Paramount, Reuters reported. On the Warner Brothers Discovery announcement, the company's stock jumped 10% in the morning, trading to over $20 per share.
Wow.
Warner Brothers Discovery continues to advance its previously announced separation of Warner Brothers and Discovery Global, currently targeted to be completed by April of 2026. At the same time, the board announced it has initiated a review of strategic alternatives to maximize shareholder value. Through this process, the Warner Brothers Discovery Board will evaluate a broad range of strategic options, which include the sale of the entire company or separate transactions for its Warner Brothers and or Discovery Global businesses. Let's see what this is from David Zaslav. He says, we continue to make important strides to position our business to succeed in today's evolving media landscape by advancing our strategic initiatives. returning our studios to industry leadership and scaling HBO Max globally. Zaslav continued, it's no surprise that the significant value of our portfolio is receiving increased recognition by others in the market. After receiving interest from multiple parties, we have initiated a comprehensive review of strategic alternatives to identify the best path forward to unlock the full value of our assets. So just go a little bit further down the article. They said there's no deadline or definitive timetable set for completion of the strategic alternatives review process. They also, the separation of the company, the way that they're doing is due to be completed by April 2026. So they finally admitted that they're actually listening to offers. And that brings us to this next article here real quick. And that is what happens if Paramount acquires Warner Brothers Discovery, HBO Max and Paramount Plus combination, huge layoffs, and more.
Wow.
Warner Brothers Discovery is officially on the block, disclosing that has received interest from multiple parties. We know that. We already know that Paramount Skydance is going after it. So what are some of the ramifications of this? A merger would undoubtedly include a massive tranche of layoffs, as a union of the two conglomerates would reduce corporate overhead and would consolidate functions across studios, TV, and streaming operations. Let's see. Note that Ellison and his team are expected to begin mass layoffs at Paramount Skydance the week of October 27th, eliminating around 2,000 jobs in the U.S. with additional cuts internationally. As of the end of 2024, Warner Brothers Discovery had approximately 35,000 employees, including full and part-time workers. Paramount Global had 18,600 at the end of last year, but has made additional layoffs since then. Just to kind of piggyback off this, there is the thought, what happens to DC if in fact Warner Brothers and Paramount were to merge, or if Warner Brothers were just to sell? And let me see if I can pull this up here real quick. I thought this was pretty telling. This was from an interview with James Gunn. Let me see if I can pull this up here real quick. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I found it. Let me just go ahead and share my screen on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go.
Absolutely. So one thing I've been really curious about is you've referenced things like Peacemaker Season 2 and Lanterns setting up different threads and arcs. How far do these arcs go? Like, do they culminate in Man of Tomorrow, or can we expect them to go further than that?
Yes, they definitely go significantly further than Man of Tomorrow.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now, you know, whether or not that'll be me that's able to fulfill that promise depends on a lot of things in life. But yeah,
Absolutely.
So even he's kind of acknowledging that there's some stuff in the works here, and there's rumor going around that if in fact Warner Brothers were to be bought, that the DC universe and James Gunn are on the chopping block. So just some tidbits there. So that's in the news here. Warner Brothers Discovery is up for sale.
All right, let's take it around the room. Josh, thoughts? What do you think about this?
Kind of crazy, kind of shocking. I don't know how I feel about it. It would be interesting. Did I miss the part? Did they say there's a billionaire who's looking to buy a sole individual, or was that not in there? Because I saw the thing with Paramount, but was there somebody else that wants to
No,
buy
it
it?
said that they said they're getting offers from multiple parties, but they haven't announced exactly who's reached out to them. But we do know Paramount has, because that's been reported.
Right. God, I definitely think the whole James Gunn DC will be scrapped if whoever buys it. I think they will start fresh. And
No,
don't think-
I don't know. You think so?
I told Bob the other day I thought so. I think they would get rid of, I don't know what they would do, but you feel bad if it's Paramount. Boy, are people going to lose jobs, and that's that's not a good thing.
No.
So that could be terrifying for a lot of people working at Warner Brothers. I know some people, one in particular, but I don't know. I don't know what. It was crazy that they announced it. Usually they would try to keep it under wraps, and they're like, nope, we're going to let you know that we're for sale, and if you make us the right offer, we might accept it. But right now they don't. They rejected the last offer, I guess, from what Bob had said with Paramount. So I don't know. I don't know with all the because you have to look at. So they said, like Bob said, you're looking at HBO Max, right?
Well, it's a question of what they acquire. If they acquire the streaming service and the studio portion, and then the other part of Discovery goes its own way,
Right.
but because they're trying to separate that as it is, are they planning to buy it in its entirety? What exactly are they looking at? And I think they're looking at buying everything.
Right. So you would be buying, like you said, streaming, the studio.
And all of its, you'd get all of its
Then
properties.
you would get Discovery with it too if they're buying all of it.
And all of Discovery stuff. You get all the cooking stuff that is now on Max. I don't know what would happen with AEW if they would be thrown away.
Also scrapped.
I don't think it'd be scrapped. I think they would go with it because I think anything that they have, if they're getting the entirety, I think they would get all of the contracts. Now the question is, what would they keep? Now there's rumor, of course, they would scrap the DC universe, and I don't blame them. I saw Superman, and then I've seen AEW, so I could see them scrapping that too.
It was awesome tonight. It was a great episode.
Crap, mega crap.
You can call
I could see that happening, but yeah, a lot of it's going to depend on exactly what they want to purchase and what their plans are with doing doing what with those properties. I've seen them do a bang up job with Star Trek, so it doesn't make me too comfortable with what James Gunn might be the better option when it comes to DC.
You want to know something, fellas? What I would want would be somebody not from a large studio to buy it. I'd want something different. I mean, a billionaire, someone who would want to be.
Sir Richard Branson purchases Warner Brothers.
Would that be so much better than having a studio, having a fresh start and just seeing what they would do with it?
I mean, it's a nice fantasy.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen that way.
Disney will buy it. Oh, God.
Which would be hilarious because then DC really would go away.
Wow. I just have this weird feeling that like Disney is right there.
I don't think they would sell to Disney.
Probably not.
I think they would prefer to go with somebody else.
Yeah, DC would be gone, and then they bring in Vince McMahon to run AEW.
I'm hearing rumor that Netflix is also interested.
No, I heard they backed out. I thought they backed out.
Last I saw, they were still interested.
Oh, I bet you they're still in play.
That could be huge for DC.
Maybe. I don't know. It depends on what they would want to do with it.
Yeah.
It's not. So is it my turn? I'm jumping in.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
That's all right. So, I'm glad that Warner Brothers is just finally coming clean about this because they've seemed like they've just been, putzing around this dance for far too long. And now at least we know that there's open, visible transparency about this. Yep. Now, I do wonder, though, I mean, there's not one. Yes, of course, they're going to look for everything to get bought. It doesn't have to happen that way, though. There's somebody that could, like, what if, let's say, for example, Amazon did purchase MGM, right? So they have all that.
Right.
Couldn't they just get the Warner Brothers studio, too? Whatever, with your streaming and Discovery.
Who, Amazon?
Yeah.
They could.
They got the money.
They got the money. I don't know if they'd want everything. but they have the money to
You
get the
would
studio.
want everything. You think you would want everything. You would want every property that is incorporated in Warner Brothers under
Well,
that umbrella.
Well, that's why, somebody like a Paramount, with CBS and all that behind them, who has like major conglomerate, like big time money, would probably. They've already said it. They've gotten their name into the hat, so they would probably want all of that. And how that would look, who knows? I don't know what would happen. I mean, with Paramount Plus and HBO Max was pretty much merge at that point, I would assume, yes.
Yeah.
So that would be probably the easiest part of it all. And Discovery would just kind of fall under that umbrella too.
Correct.
And the studio, who knows? Who knows what would happen with the studio?
I don't
And then
know.
CBS, well, Paramount Plus, here's the thing about Paramount Plus too, is that they're no different really now than any other streaming service. They've got some really great shows. They've got some shows that are, whatevs. So
the question is, would say Paramount bought it, and like you guys, I don't think that's going to happen. Would Paramount, because Warner Brothers here in LA is huge, so would they put everything under Warner Brothers, as a, or would it just be Paramount? Because I don't know.
Maybe what they'll do is do something like kind of like how Disney is kind of merged Hulu over with it, but I think they're still calling it like Hulu on Disney Plus. Maybe that'll be like Warner Brothers on Paramount or something like that.
I just don't see it.
When they introduce, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll say what I was going to say in a minute.
Yeah, I was just going to say they could probably do something like Paramount, Warner Brothers proudly presents. It wouldn't be that big of a deal, and for that matter, that big of a change on that level.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Really, what this all comes down to is what they want to do with the properties if they get them. Mm-hmm. And you brought up a good point, Derek, about how it's a streaming service like any other streaming service. They've got some really good shows. Like they got some of my favorite shows on TV right now.
Yeah.
At the same time, these are the same boneheads that screwed up Star Trek. And I don't know if I want them anywhere near DC. I mean, they make James Gunn look like he's, Steven Spielberg over there. So yeah, I'm not sure. Again, everything's going to depend on what they would want to do with these properties. I think they would put them all over under the Paramount umbrella. Maybe they change the name of the streaming service from Paramount Plus to something different since they're going to have all these additional properties. If they're the ones that get it.
Yeah.
If Netflix gets it, then I think they'll keep the Warner Brothers name and everything, and they will definitely have like its own little section there. And then imagine that they would have WWE for international stuff, and then they would have AEW. I mean, they'd have a monopoly on wrestling pretty much.
Yeah, they'd own it.
What oh god, I was going to ask something about Netflix and who does movies on Netflix now? Zack Snyder. You telling me they wouldn't like try to get the Snyderverse going again? If Netflix,
I don't know. He did make Rebel Moon.
Well, would Zack Snyder even want to do that again?
Who knows? Well, no, he just posted something, Derek, on Instagram of
Deathstroke.
Yeah, Deathstroke and Superman.
No, I think people are breathing too much into that. I really don't think that's something he wants to do again. And even if he did want to do it, Ben Affleck's already said he's done with it. I mean, we're talking these actors are older. I know, Josh, you want these actors to play them until they're 80, but they can't play these characters until they're 80.
No, just Henry Cavill. It'd be nice to see
Michael
him.
Caine is 90. He's coming back. That should, he can suit up again.
Mel Brooks is going to be 102 for Spaceballs, too.
So do we think? Okay, so Paramount's one name. Who else do we think is a strong contender here?
Vince McMahon. Just kidding.
Like
I mean, are we going
to the audience for that?
Honestly, I kind of like Netflix.
I think the best fit
Yeah.
would probably be somebody like Netflix that has kind of their own original programming, and it's known for showing other people's stuff as opposed to, you know, something like Paramount that they're their own studio and
Right.
and they have a history of that. It's because I think everything would fall under the Paramount umbrella, where with Netflix, I think they would keep Warner Brothers as its own separate thing, but they own it.
Okay.
So I think that's probably their better fit if they want to try to keep the name. But Paramount seems to be making the biggest push for it.
Can I throw another one into the hat here?
Yeah.
What if YouTube got its hands on it? They're already they're already doing YouTube TV. They clearly want a piece of this action.
They do. I just don't see them make, like, I would see.
I think it's more likely that Apple were to get them.
Oh, that's a good point too.
Could be.
Forgot
But I
about
mean,
so
you would look at all three: Amazon, YouTube, and Apple.
well, no, and then you would have to then Netflix. I don't think Disney's. I think that's true. I don't think Disney's.
Disney would be shocking. That would be shocking.
Well, Disney's bleeding too much money as it is anyway, right?
Yeah,
now.
there's
So
no way.
I don't think they're going to take on a bunch of other bleeding franchises.
Yeah,
and
they're not gonna-
bleeding studio.
They're not going to
Yeah.
want more debt. That's not going to help them.
You know, 15 years ago, they probably would have done it because they were acquiring all sorts of properties and stuff like that. I don't think right now.
Yep. Let's see. Who else is out there?
I'm telling you,
Somebody
guys,
like a
rich businessman. That could be interesting.
What
the
rich businessman?
already
Oh, I-
own a lot of this other stuff that we're talking about.
Shad Khan.
No, he's not. Please, he already has
You
enough.
told me many times, Derek. He's got so much money.
Yeah, but where's
Elon Musk
Jerry
is going to go
money
buy it.
Yeah,
I was going to say Elon Musk. Isn't that funny?
I don't know if you know. He's too busy in space, man. He's too busy.
Yeah, I think he's too busy. So
yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, we'll see who else gets a Comcast is a possibility.
That's
No.
right.
But didn't yeah, because I've heard they're interested. I mean, so yeah, there's some other interested parties out there, but the one I don't think that's going to go after it is Disney. I just think they're bleeding too much.
Wait, is
Yeah, but-
Comcast owned by Xfinity, Derek?
Well, you know, Comcast owns Xfinity.
Or Comcast owns it? Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't see them having enough money to do that.
I'm taking a look at the stock here, gentlemen, and now would be the time to jump in on it. It's pretty dang affordable.
Which one?
What-
It's Warner Brothers Discovery.
What's it at right now?
20, right?
$20.53.
It'll skyrocket when they get sold.
Good Lord. That's not a
So
bad
that's
idea.
what I'm saying. Jump in on some of that now, and then make money.
I might. Yeah.
We're in this for money. That's what it's always about. That's what this
All
deal's about. Who are you kidding?
Yep.
Yep. All right. Well, Warner Brothers will be watching. I'm glad you put a big for sale sign on your front lawn.
Yeah.
How about we move on to the next piece of news, Bob, if you would, please.
Sure. Let me go ahead and share my screen once again.
Mm-hmm.
So, initially, after saying that it wasn't going to happen, it's now looking more and more like of a possibility that Stranger Things is getting, or the Stranger Things finale is getting a theatrical release. I'm sorry. Okay, there we go.
worries.
All right, the Stranger Things season 5, Netflix reportedly planning theatrical release for finale. Season 4 of the Netflix series Stranger Things made viewers realize that an episodic TV series can match the production value and cinematic scope of blockbuster films. The 4th edition, especially the finale, was praised for its epic storytelling and stunning visuals, prompting fans to call for the season 5 finale to be released on the big screen. Initially, Netflix did not want to release the series finale on the big screen. However, it seems that the streamer has changed course and is now planning a possible theatrical release for the finale of the 5th season. According to a report by Puck's Matthew Belloni, Netflix is now reportedly thinking of taking the season 5 finale of Stranger Things to theaters. The report suggested that the streaming platform will be showcasing the 2-hour-long episode at AMC theaters and other theater chains on New Year's Eve. So, it's worth noting that the finale is set to premiere on Netflix on the same date. So this would be the same day release where it releases to theaters and then to Netflix at the same time. The report comes almost a week after the Duffer Brothers revealed in an interview how they wanted the concluding episode of the 5th and final season to be in cinema halls. At the time, Netflix didn't feel the need to do so because people had seen the show in large numbers on the streamer,
Right.
and it hadn't stopped them from talking about it on the internet, in person, and on social media. In his report, Bellani explained that their comments were recorded weeks before the deal was in place. Although the deal isn't final, he didn't shy away from saying that the finale will be shown in theaters. If this does happen, it would be a significant moment for the show's history. A lot of people, including critics, believe that the Duffer Brothers haven't left any stone unturned to make Stranger Things a magnum opus, and Netflix might have realized that it has potential to provide box office success as well. Volume 1 arrives on November 27th and will consist of 4 episodes. Meanwhile, the second volume will be available for streaming on December 25th, and the finale of the 5th and final edition will premiere on New Year's Eve, marking the end of an era for fans who have followed the journey since the very beginning. So it's not for sure yet, but it's looking like a very, very real possibility that the finale is going to get a theatrical release, but it's going to be released the same day as the release on Netflix.
Okay.
Well, we know Bobby
All
will
right.
go see it in the theater.
If it's showing. Now, here's what's interesting is that they did say that it would show in AMC theater chains. From my understanding, Netflix does have a deal with AMC as far as showing some of their programming and stuff like that on their streaming service. So they also have a deal, I believe, in place with the theater chain for some of the stuff to be released, like the new Knives Out and some of those other things that they're wanting to release to theaters for limited runs. So that would make sense to release it in the AMC chains.
All right. Bob, you kick us off this time. What are you thinking?
I think it's a good idea, except for the fact that it's a same day release. I think it would be smart of them to release it for like a 2-week run and then release it on Netflix afterwards if you're wanting to make off the box office. Now, it makes sense that they're not doing it because of the history of the show and they're wanting everybody to see it all at once. But if you were wanting to really, really capitalize off of the theater run, then that's the way to do it. You need to have its own run separate from it appearing on Netflix. Now, we've seen from others that the same day release does affect it. For example, Black Widow, all those movies in 2021 that were released on
Right.
Max and in the theater at the same day with the Kong or Godzilla versus Kong, Mortal Kombat, The Matrix, a bunch of movies that showed up there. So yeah, I think it does affect the box office if you release it to streaming the same day. But I think it'd be cool to see it on the big screen because that finale of season 4 was awesome. And if they get anywhere close to that with season 5, this could be really cool in theaters.
Good call. All right, Josh, take it away.
You know, I agree with Bob that if it was not the same day, then it could be interesting. But the fact that they're doing it the same day, I mean, I don't know how many people are going to go out and spend $30 to go to the theater when, they just spent what, $10, $12 at home, through Netflix.
There will be some people that will do that. Some people will. I'm not saying it's going to be a big thing, but some people will do that.
Yeah, Bobby will absolutely do it. He
Well, I would.
will.
But here's the thing. Like you just said, well, paying $10 on Netflix, but they're already paying the $10.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I mean,
Right.
Because if you saw the first parts, you were already paying the $10. And the question is, do they want to take the time and spend that additional money when they can
Right.
watch it at home really for free because you're already spending the $10?
Right. I don't think they want to, unless the real diehard fans will go to see it on the big screen.
Let me ask you, Josh. Okay, let's say that The Mandalorian and Grogu was releasing to theaters the same day that it was releasing on streaming. Would you go see it in theaters?
No, I'd see it on streaming.
You would. Okay, well, what about if it was a brand new Star Wars trilogy? Okay, they've wiped the slate clean. Hold on. They've wiped the slate clean. And
Okay.
they're doing a brand new episode 7 with Mark Hamill returning.
Okay.
They're going to release it on streaming and in theaters the same day. Would you go to theaters?
Yes.
Why?
So yeah, that's
The point.
Because
you see, the
Star Wars is
point.
special.
Okay,
Star
no, but you
Wars
see, the
is-
point is that Stranger Things is special to a lot of people. So,
And by the way, have you heard something? Are they releasing episode
no,
7?
I haven't heard anything. Shut up. The point I'm making is that you're saying it from the perspective because you're not as invested in Stranger Things. Now, if it was something you were invested in, you see what they're trying to do by releasing it to theaters is capitalize on those that are invested in it. There's an audience for it.
Right.
You might not be that audience, but there is an audience for it. Now, I think it would be smarter to release it at least a week in theaters, or release it for that one day, just a 1-day release, and then don't show it again until it releases on Netflix like a week later.
I mean,
I think that's the way you pack the theater that one day.
that's a good idea.
Make it an event.
Yep.
right. Derek has said that before too. Like you make it a big event and then show it on Netflix the week later.
Well, that's what they're doing with Frankenstein. I think. Well, I mean, they're showing it 2 weeks before the release.
They are, but it's very limited. Like
Yeah, it's a
Bob,
very
I don't
limited
know if I
release.
look
It's not
at
even
it.
showing here.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's showing. I think it's probably showing here, but
13 miles away is the closest theater for us.
let me look at Regal right now. Because I asked my friend if he wanted to see it. He's like, "Why? It's coming on Netflix next, like a week later."
Not the
Let's
same.
see.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
Let's see. I do not.
So yeah, I really what it all comes down to is I think they're making a mistake by releasing it the same day, but I don't think it's a mistake to release it in theaters. I do think there's an audience for it. And if it's showing here, I would probably go see it.
Yeah.
Because I am invested in Stranger Things. I'm doing a whole rewatch of it right now. I've only got 3 episodes left of season 3, and then I just got to watch season 4. So I'm almost done.
Oh wow! All right, you put a serious dent in that.
Yeah. Been working on it, like watching like 1 episode a night, getting through it.
Nice. Well, Halloween's going to put a dent in that. Michael Myers is not pleased with Stranger Things children, and now he's going to slash everybody accordingly. So for this, I am absolutely pleased as punch that Netflix took my idea. I love the fact that they did this. Find a movie theater franchise, like a business that they could pair up with and place their stuff on a big screen. Yes, 100% to that. But Bob, I think you're right. This only really does work if you play in the theater early.
Yeah.
Just doing it the same day is like, well, you're not really giving people much incentive to be like, come on, gang, this is worth the big screen. Now,
Especially when it's New Year's Eve and people are off doing New Year's Eve parties and stuff like that. Also, you've got the college football playoff going on that day. So, I mean, you got stuff going on that, you know, it could play against Stranger Things actually getting a good amount of people in the theater. Like make it an event.
Do we know how long it's going to stay in theater? I may have missed that. How long it's going to stay in theaters after it's released there?
That's a good question. My guess is it's probably a very limited release too.
Probably like a weekend. That's usually what it does.
Well, my point being is that if they kept it 2 or 3 weeks, that actually may be in their benefit, because if it's not, just on New Year's Eve, then you have some time to go see it. People may do that if they have the time.
And maybe what they do is because New Year's Eve falls on a Wednesday, so maybe it shows that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe like all the way through that Sunday.
Yeah, that would be the smart play. Is just go the entire weekend there, if not more, if you can get away with it.
Yeah,
because I think that would be in their benefit. But I do love this. I love that we're trying this finally, and Netflix wasn't afraid to do it. They said, "Let's see how it'll work." So now there's just a couple other things that they need for my idea to be complete, and then I'm the mastermind, and I'm going to rule the world.
And then you're going to buy Warner Brothers.
No, I'm all right.
Yeah, he's a few $1 billion away from that.
And then change Superman.
I'm only $2 billion away. Okay, I can get there.
I'm looking at that Warner Brothers stock right now. I'm like,
Thinking about it, huh?
Yeah, I really am. I'm like, it's $20.
So, but the thing is, though, it could, for as fast as I could go up, it could go back down too.
Yeah.
So,
right,
depending on the announcement,
you never know.
Well, yeah, but you got to remember, once it does skyrocket, it's probably going to go back down pretty fast, specifically because of that layoff discussion that you've been talking about.
It skyrockets and you sell it right away.
Well, that's the idea, yeah. So, it's up to you if you want to take that gamble.
I don't know.
It could be something where you do buy it and it doesn't do anything to it either. You're just stuck with $20.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
or you make some decent money off of that $20.
One of the two. I don't know. It depends on how you feel like rolling the dice.
We can't get you to go to the theater and spend $15, and you want to turn around and invest all this money.
No, $20. That's it. It's $20 a share. I'll buy one share of it.
You're not going to make any money if you buy one share of it. You're going to make like $200.
Scared money don't make money.
I'm going to buy like 10 shares of it.
10 shares may do you some good, though. You can make some headway with that. You may only get like $5,000 out of it, but still $5,000's $5,000. Sell it, take it.
So it'll be interesting. I'm excited. I got to finish. I'm just about done with episode 8 of Stranger Things, and I'll get to the 10-hour finale or however long it is.
It's
2.5 hours.
Yeah, 2.5 hours. It is too bad Cobra. It's too bad Cobra Kai's done, because that should have been in theaters. Those last ones. Oh, that was good stuff.
Bobby didn't like them. Bobby didn't like the last ones. He would have been upset.
I never said I didn't like them.
I thought you didn't like the last ones.
No, Lily was the one who didn't like them.
Oh, that's right.
Really did not like those. That's true.
I had a few problems with a couple of things here and there, and I thought this was one of the weaker seasons. I never said I didn't like it.
Okay.
You could have done just a couple of them, like the school fight would have been cool in the theater. That would have been dope.
Oh yeah.
I wonder how far Netflix is going to take this, but I'm glad they got a partnership going. This is good for everybody involved, and I do hope that they follow an early release plan with all this, because that is, I think, where you get the benefit. I will probably not be seeing this in the theater if that's the case. Who am I kidding? I'm going to be on the islands. They don't care about. They like Stranger Things, but they got other stuff to do, like surf and fish.
So that's right. You'll be at Hawaii at the time.
That's right. I got to watch the new Karate Kid movie. Also, I haven't seen it on Netflix.
When do you leave for Hawaii again?
The 20. Just like that. Just like that. Yep.
When he cut you off, when is it? 26th of December?
27th. So, I'll be there then.
Nice.
Actually, I didn't cut him off. I meant to put it there. It was a setup and the joke. Setup and the punchline.
Everybody, Bobby wants to be fun.
Shut up! Stop whining.
He's going all out. Where's the parrot? Let me see the parrot.
Josh, shut up.
We're not going to do this on cue.
You shut up. Yes, you are.
You stink. You're gonna live.
True story. That's what Derek looked like when I met him in college.
Yeah, well,
Josh.
Exactly.
I also threw mitts at your face in college too, and it worked just as well.
All right.
All right. So now that we are done with the news, folks, coming up in just a little bit, we are going to be addressing some fantasy creations of collaborations in terms of movie franchises. Which movie would you like to see match up with this movie there? It should make for a fun lab experiment. And then a little later on, we'll be reviewing some classical Shakespearean theater in the form of scary movie.
Yeah.
And after that, we'll wrap up with some final thoughts. But Bob, I believe we have something that's going to lend us toward the lighter side of life. If you'd like to share that.
All right. We have circled back around to the dad joke of the week. And today, our joke comes to us courtesy of James Bond himself, Sean Connery.
I think you got the point.
Oh God.
Proof why Sean Connery is the best Bond.
I think you got the points.
Yeah, he didn't have to like over deliver it at all. That's what made Connery so cool, is that he just dropped it and that was it.
I know it wasn't like Arnold Schwarzenegger, let off some steam, Bennett. You know, I think you got the point.
Off some steam.
He's dead tired.
Get to
No, Arnold. That's excellent. I miss me some Connery Bond. Good stuff.
Very cool.
All right.
All
Shall
right,
we
let's
step into
stop
Fantasyland, gentlemen?
Yep, here we go.
Folks, have you ever been interested in seeing Superman fight Spider-Man? Or, for that matter, the Hulk fighting Batman? Or, for that matter, Wonder Woman fighting... What was a cool female Marvel hero? I can't even remember. That's how much of a drought we've been on recently.
Maybe the Scarlet Witch or
It's something like that. Well, that's what we're going to be doing here, is taking our favorites of one movie, combining them with what we think would be cool for a collaboration with another to make a mixed movie concoction. Obviously, we've had ideas about this throughout the time of movies within our generation. I'm sure the newer generations would feel the same way about combining certain movies. So with that, we have our 5, as we usually have here. 2 honorable mentions to begin. And let's have some fun in terms of mixing and matching and making something fun in terms of a new movie. What do you guys say?
all right. Let's start with those honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions first. Josh, you begin.
You know, I didn't do any honorable mentions. Bob said it was up to us. You go ahead and do yours, Bob.
God. Why am I not surprised?
What you said when you came on
Before the show, you asked me, and I said I got my honorable mentions, and we'll just list off our 5 after that. Maybe if you do this stuff before the show instead of like 2 minutes before the show starts.
Hey, I did it during the show. Okay?
Shut up!
I almost said a bad word. I almost just.
All right. So
It's all right.
just here's a couple of mine that did not make my honorable mentions, but just I want to throw them out there. Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. I think that could be an interesting combination because they're wizarding worlds. You know, they have wizards and stuff like that. You know, we see Dumbledore training Harry Potter. What if Gandalf was training Harry Potter? You know,
Hogwarts is only a beginning to wizardry, my boy.
that could be real interesting. So, and what if Voldemort was trying to get the One Ring? So,
Yep, that's true.
so
Now, Sauron wouldn't be having any of that.
yeah. So That'd be cool. Also, Lethal Weapon and Rush Hour. I think that would be kind of fun because Lethal Weapon is like the original buddy cop movies out there, and then mix them up with Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker and have a combination of the two. I could see Riggs and Murtaugh, being competitive with Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan trying to see who solves the crime first, but ultimately they have to team together and work together. So I think that could be kind of cool.
You understand the words coming out of my mouth?
So the two, my two honorable mentions.
I give up.
Well, if it was funny, Josh, I would have laughed, but it wasn't funny.
I really want to be the funny one.
Well, that's because I am the funny one. But I mean, that's
really?
besides
Over
the point.
Derek?
He never knew when to quit. Oh.
All right. So here we go. The first of mine is the Fast and the Furious combined with Transformers. Imagine them racing those cars and doing all that stuff with the Transformers. I think that would be kind of cool if they were, if Vin Diesel and his family were driving around in Optimus Prime and Bumblebee and stuff like that. And I'm not even the biggest Fast and Furious fan, but I think that would be kind of a cool combination there. And then the last of my honorable mentions, RoboCop and Terminator. I'd love to see the two of them fighting against each other, but then they have to team up to face off against another threat of some kind. So RoboCop and Terminator, that's the last of my honorable mentions there.
All right.
What about you, Jericho?
Okay. So there were a couple that didn't make my honorable mentions, but I did think about it, and I'm like, man, that would actually be pretty cool if they did it like that. I had to give this one credit because I think the movies are pretty similar in terms of the way that they're shot. But I thought that if they did something like the first of these films with Wonder Woman and Captain America, that could actually be pretty cool.
That's interesting.
Like back in World War I, World War II times. That could be kind of a fun way to do things. They could get pretty creative with that, I think. All right, Josh, I'll give you your due. I'm not gonna lie, I always kind of wanted these two to mix when I was a kid because I'm like, well, they're already in space, Star Wars and Star Trek.
Yeah, I've got a little something different, but I agree with you. There's something.
Didn't you see Spock like mastering a lightsaber? Wouldn't that be dope?
That would be awesome. I think there's one that I chose similar that Bob might do, but I'm not sure.
Okay. I would also like to see Picard kind of throw down in terms of getting on one of those spacecrafts. I think he could do pretty good as a fighter pilot. And then like Darth Vader commanding the Borg would be one of the sickest things you'd ever see.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
All right. Josh is saying, yeah, like he knows who the Borg are. He goes,
one of these weeks, I'm going to make us review Star Trek First Contact. That's one of the best Star Trek movies ever.
I watched Wrath of Khan with Bob.
He said that's one of the best. He didn't say that was the best.
Okay. I think I saw the film with Bob.
Well, the Wrath of Khan may be the very best, actually.
It is.
A lot of people
but First Contact is definitely one of the best.
It's fun. Really, really fun.
I like First Contact.
Yeah. All right. My honorable mention number one. I'm not even into these movies, but I think it could be fun. Let's do Nightmare on Elm Street and Evil Dead.
Oh, okay. That could be cool.
Be fun.
That could be cool. A lot of fun.
See Ash going up against Freddy Krueger.
And then he'd say, "Give me some sugar, baby," right when he was getting ready to like stab Freddy. It'd be great. All right. I also think, Bob, I like your thoughts on Fast and the Furious. And actually the Transformer ones that's a good math add up. But I thought it could be fun if you had Fast and Furious with Top Gun. And now Maverick has to do an army project.
That could be interesting.
Like an assignment with these, this band of criminals. And they're not going to like each other at first. At all.
That could work.
Yeah. I thought that would be fun. Those are my two big honorable mentions. Yeah.
All right.
Yep,
Are we
Josh,
in this?
You already missed two of the questions on the test. Do you want to see if we can go for 3 or 4?
Bite me.
Oh, good.
Anyway, all right, my 5. So I thought of King Kong and Hulk. I think that would be cool. Why are you giving a look, Bob? What's wrong with that?
Well, because King Kong's like, gigantic and stuff.
I know, but imagine him against the Hulk or them fighting together.
Yeah, but it would be like Kong against the Hulk. I mean,
The Hulk would be
I'm just thinking of the
smaller.
size difference between the two.
Yeah.
No, I think that's I've always thought about that, to see the two of them against each other. My other one, all right, Star Trek and Alien.
I actually kind of thought about that one.
I
but it
looked
didn't
that
make
up
my
and I was
list.
like, oh, that could be interesting, because I was thinking Star Wars and Star Trek, and then it said Alien and Star Trek. I'm like, oh, that could be cool.
Wait, then it said you got these
No,
off of a.
I was looking at inspiration.
Aha!
And I
He
said,
got all his ideas somewhere else.
so no, not all. This next one, I came on my own.
Not all of them. He said.
Not all of them.
Stranger Things and Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that could be fun.
I think that could be interesting. Fighting this like really deadly ghost and having the original, Ghostbusters and the cast from Stranger Things. This one they're going to do, but I wanted to list it: G.I. Joe and Transformers.
I don't know if they're going to do it.
What? Really?
I mean, they hinted at it, but Rise of the Beast didn't exactly make a whole lot of money. Now, it's funny, though, that you mentioned that, because they did say today they're planning an animated G.I. Joe Transformers crossover.
Oh,
That's going to be more adult themed.
Oh, I hope they do a live action too. I really do. That would be awesome. And then my biggest one, Marvel and DC. Like, that would be great as a huge, team up, having them fight something that is so strong. Yes, Derek, what's up?
There is a time I would have agreed with that.
Not anymore?
It's no longer.
No?
I mean, I hate saying that, but you really would want to roll with that now?
Well, again, this is more fantasy, so I'm saying,
know,
yeah,
I
I'd
know.
love to see it. I would love to see what they would do, what type of threat where they would have to band all these huge superheroes together from 2 different comic books.
All right. Okay.
Not just like naming, like, all right, we would have, like you mentioned, Superman and Spider-Man, or, Batman and the Hulk, or it's like all of them bonded together.
Okay.
Like some sort of, threat
No, I get it.
for the world. So anyway, that's what I would like. Those are my 5.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Hit it, please.
All right. So my first one is James Bond and Mission Impossible. I'd love to see Ethan Hunt and James Bond out on a mission together. I think that would be really, really cool. This is one that came to me kind of late, but when it did, it really worked its way up my list, and that is Indiana Jones and the Mummy. Because the Brendan Fraser, he was almost like Indiana Jones light anyway. So let's bring Indiana Jones into that. It takes place in the 1930s. Let's bring him into that. Let's have him doing his thing, and then the mummy gets loose. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Nice.
This one I think is fun. Batman and the Saw franchise. Batman is the world's greatest detective and have to turn around and try to stop John Kramer and his all the gadgets and his death traps and everything. And you could make it kind of fun where he ends up kidnapping like Dick Grayson, or he kidnaps Barbara Gordon, and he's got one of them in one of those death traps or whatever, and he's got to get to them before it's too late. So I think that could be kind of cool. I also did Marvel DC, but I wouldn't do, Josh, like bringing everybody together. I wouldn't do that. I would do individual matchups. Like for me, it would be Superman and the Hulk, but the real Hulk, not Smart Hulk.
Right.
Not Mark Ruffalo's Hulk.
No.
Yeah, he can go bye-bye.
Edward Norton.
So
Dismissed.
but I was like Superman and the Hulk, or maybe Batman and the Punisher, which they've done in the comic book, which I think would be really kind of cool.
That'd be cool.
Or maybe like Green Lantern and Vision, or let's see what's his name, Thanos against Darkseid, or stuff like that. I think would be kind of fun. Individual matchups for me. And then my number one is Star Wars and Star Trek. But the way I would do it is I would have focus on the Empire, and I would have the original crew, just because I'm partial to the original crew, Captain Kirk and Spock and all of them, and having to defeat the Empire and the Death Star before they destroy Earth. So I think that would be kind of cool. So that's my number one fantasy collab.
All right.
And there's actually a kind of a cool trailer out there. When we get off air, I'll show it to you. It's pretty cool. So
Nice. Like, good list. Solid. All right.
All right, Derek,
Yeah,
let's hear yours.
All right. So the first one.
It's going to be random.
Did anybody? No, it's not that random. Did anybody say Terminator and RoboCop?
yeah, I did.
Yes, Bobby.
That's
did.
my,
That's what I
honorable
thought.
mention.
Okay. Yeah. So I did think that one as well. That's probably the one I'd be more excited about. And Bob, I would like to see Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. That would just be fun. There's too much good sorcery that adds up in there.
Yeah, like just the fact that you got wizards and stuff in both of them, you could have a lot of fun with that. And you could have Voldemort teaming up with Saruman and whatnot. And I mean, yeah, there's some cool stuff here.
Be like what is that? Gollum just walking around Hogwarts in the basement.
and Dobby looking at it. Oh, that's a strange elf, or something.
Oh God! To this day, that thing from the MTV Movie Awards is one of the funniest things you'll watch. With Gollum accepting the award. Yeah, you know what I speak. Yeah, so that's a good one. I thought of this one. It's a stretch, but I think it could be a lot of fun. And that's John McClane from Die Hard with Sarah Connor.
Ooh, that's good. That's unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, Die Hard has a little bit more comedy in it, honestly, but the feeling of both of them, I think, could actually work.
Yeah.
I think if you made John McClane, if you put him in that world, it'd add up just fine. All right. I'm going to lose my mind because of how much Keanu we're about to get here, but I want The Matrix with John Wick.
Oh, okay.
I want to see Neo.
That could work, especially in the Matrix world. That could really work. Yeah.
Yeah. I like, couldn't you see him like with what are they called? The Sentinels? Like all of them show up and John Wick just goes, all of you die. And he would just chop them all to death. It would be great. And then my last one, okay, this is going to be a stretch, but bear with me. It's grown-up Kevin McAllister from Home Alone. Only the criminals that he's taking on are those sick bastards from The Purge. And he protects his home like that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's weird.
And they're trying to break into his house to do all this. And now he's got like death traps for them instead of.
Oh my God.
Okay.
It could work.
All right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
random.
I can see that.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is there's always that fan theory that John Kramer was Kevin McAllister growing up, and now he's all grown up and foresaw, and he's got all these death traps now.
That's exactly like, wouldn't that be great if like all those guys in the mask started showing up in his house and he just had God knows how many death like booby traps like that? Oh, it'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Be fun.
I could do that. That I'm down with that one.
I'm up here, you horse's ass, but it's just a flat out grenade.
Good idea.
Do you know what The Purge is, Josh?
Yes, that one is The Purge, the one where it's like it's one night where you can do whatever you want. Yeah, they made 2 of them, right?
No, they made like 3 or 4 of them.
Three or 4, yeah.
Yeah,
They were pretty big. They were pretty hot there for a minute.
Yeah.
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 I had to ask Josh because I know you're not a fan of horror movies. So
No, but I know it. I know it.
Okay.
Which is why Kevin McAllister is the perfect hero to go up against that, because he'll never feel
There
bad
we go.
with him around. Won't be that scary. All right.
All
Well,
right.
that was a fun
That's
experiment.
fun.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Well done, guys. All right. Well, now that our fun just ended, let's move on to what we absolutely have to talk about. Bob, go ahead.
All right. Josh is smiling this week. This, I think, is the first week we've ever seen him smile. Since we went to- So we are on to week 7 of fantasy football. And as usual, it didn't turn out well for a couple of us.
of losers!
So we will start off with last place this week. And unfortunately, this week it was me.
Oh, poor thing.
Shut up, Josh. So I went with Dak Prescott, and actually the way I built my lineup, I built it heavily into the Cowboys and Commanders game. You'll see that theme as we're going through this. So I went with Dak Prescott, 23.26 points. J.K. Dobbins from Denver, 9 points. I was hoping for more, but they fell so far behind. He pretty much got scripted out of that game. Judkins from Cleveland, he was very good for me as he had 3 rushing touchdowns, 26.4 points. CeeDee Lamb, 25 points. I also went with Pickens from Cowboys. The Cowboys as I double stacked with Prescott. He had 12.2 points. This is where I got really unlucky because, again, I was hoping for this game to be a shootout. It was not. Luke McCaffrey, 0 points. Zach Ertz, 12.7. He didn't kill me. He did fine. Krosky Merritt really was a letdown at 4.2 points. I went with the Bears defense at 13 points. My final score was 125.76. Final verdict.
I did it! We're saved!
Wrong foot. Mother.
So good.
Oh, yeah. It didn't turn out very good for me on week 7. Let's go to our second place. Derek, you got really lucky because your lineup was terrible until the end of until that fourth quarter. Those afternoon games. Bo Nix, 39.96 points as he had 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, and 2 2-point conversions. So that really helped him out. Krosky Merritt, you also went with. You were thinking the same thing I was, that it was going to be a shootout. It was not. 4.2 points.
No.
Saquon Barkley's where you really got unlucky. If Saquon had come through, you actually had a shot to win the thing. But Saquon really let you down. 5.2 points. Cortland Sutton, 16.7. He was fine. Luther Burden, 3.1. Malik Washington, 8 points. Tucker Kraft was a good play, 16.8. Jonathan Taylor was your stud, 34.2. Well, your second stud. The Colts defense, 7 points. Your final score was 135.16. Final verdict.
What kind of man stays out till 2:30 in the morning and then comes back looking like a bruised turd? Boy, don't you talk back.
I love that thing.
That's what my wife did to me when I got back home from the Niners game on Sunday.
So now let's go ahead and get into our champ for the week.
Yeah.
Josh, good play with Patrick Mahomes, 26.24 points. You actually could have done better with him had they not pulled him in the third quarter because it was already such a blowout. They pulled him in the third quarter, or else you would have ended up with more points. Scatterboo, 18.4. Dowdle, at 10.6. But I figured he was going to have a down day because Hubbard was back. And sure enough, the two of them split carries. One, I think, had 17 carries. The other one had 14 carries, so they pretty much split it. CeeDee Lamb, 25 points. McConkey was one of your good plays, 15.7. Keenan Allen really came alive in that fourth quarter as the Chargers had to throw to get back into that game, 31.9 points. Tucker Kraft, 16.8. Matt Collins, 7.3. You went with the Vikings defense at 3 points. Your final score was 154.94. Final verdict.
So who are you, man? Shit!
I'm the party pooper.
I'm the potty pooper. Oh,
So down to the leaderboard, I'm still up with 4. Josh, you've got 2. Derek, you got 1. But again, we've got a long way to go as we're barely in week 7. We still got what? 7 what is it? 10, 11 more weeks to go. So we still
yeah.
got plus the playoffs, so we still got a long way to go.
Have you noticed this is just like crazy? Like sometimes you get the blowouts, but do you notice like even teams that like are down by like 21 points in the first half come back?
Yeah.
And I mean, look how good Derek's done. Like I thought Derek. I looked and I was like, I still want to watch that game. 33 points from the Broncos in one
quarter, and a lot of it was like in the last 5 minutes.
It was bonkers. Like they were, when we were on the train, they were watching it, and everybody was talking about the plays that were happening. I got to watch it from the seat behind, and this guy like just put up his phone and was showing the guy, his friend next to him, and me, and it was nuts.
Like, how do these teams, when they have a lead, just use the time? Like, use the play clock to like 2 seconds each time.
Well, what's the fun in that?
It's called winning. I mean, they're giving up these leads.
Well, maybe they were, and they
I don't
were
know.
still
I
getting
think
held to
that's
3
what
and out.
I don't know. Is that what happened with the Giants?
I don't know. I need to go see the full game, but
yeah,
or at least that quarter. I don't know if I want to watch the full game, but I'd love to watch that quarter.
Yeah.
So, all right.
So, pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, bring on the absurdity, Bob. It's time. Let's go ahead.
Right.
Let's go ahead and do it.
Oh my God.
All right, folks. Well, we took a trip down memory lane for our side, and just being in the holiday spirit, we thought, well, why not revisit an oldie but a goldie and Scary Movie, the first one? It is a very important point to make that clear because there are God knows how many of these. For those of you who are familiar, you know of what we speak. For those who aren't, how many movies did they do? Like, it must have been.
I think there's 5 of them because the Wayans brothers are going to do another one. This is going to be their first time back since the second one.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, 3, 4, and 5 were not good.
Oh,
What would you say, Josh?
3, 4, and 5 were not good.
I wouldn't say they weren't good. I
I
mean,
think it was okay, but it just didn't feel like it. It didn't feel like Scary Movie.
It was more of the same. It was more of the same of what they did in the first.
The intros were good.
I'm not saying that it was. I mean, I'm not saying that that's not funny, but it's just more of what they already did. So anyway, to provide some details here, the production companies associated with this was in fact Wayans Brothers Entertainment. It was distributed by Miramax, and to mention, it was released. Wow, we're going to date ourselves here. July 7th, 2000 is when this came out.
Bob and
25
I
years
were
ago.
in the theater. Bob and I were in the theater watching it.
And you know what? They made some money for back in their day. The budget was $19 million on this, and they walked away with $278.
Wow.
Yeah, so they didn't do so bad.
and you figure marketing was probably at that time 30 to 50 million. So,
And then you get the theater cut in there. They still walked away.
They did well.
Good. Yeah, they ended up in the black for sure. So good on them for that. Folks, we had a discussion here a little while ago about the fact that Spaceballs was coming out and how the younger generation would probably consider that just beyond ridiculous and would be like, Dad, what are you watching? Well, if you think that's a ridiculous movie, you haven't seen anything yet. This puts that to shame, if you ask me.
Oh,
so, Bob, kick us off with your review, please, if you would.
So, well, first off, to answer the question as to whether it's still funny or if it's outdated, I think the answer is both.
Yeah.
Because I think there's still a lot of stuff in it that's hilarious, but some of the jokes are outdated because the movie is not like The Naked Gun, where it's just a bunch of silly jokes throughout. This is a spoof of horror movies.
Yeah.
So a lot of those movies are outdated.
Yeah.
I mean, this was spoofing Scream, Scream 2, I Know What You Did Last Summer. And granted, those franchises have new entries that are coming out, but the original films that they're spoofing, you know, we're talking 1996, 1997. You know, these are films that came out back then. So a lot of the newer audience that if they were to tune into them wouldn't get a lot of the jokes unless they watched those original films. So you would need to watch those original films to get a lot of the jokes. Not all of them, because again, there are a lot of silly jokes, but some of the stuff that makes it so funny is that they are spoofing those, and they're using some of the same dialogue, and they have some of the same situations that happen, like the whole scene where they're spoofing I Know What You Did Last Summer, where they hit the guy and they're trying to dump the body.
Okay. Okay. No need to.
Like in the original, you know, they're trying to dump the body. They're trying to be careful. Another car's coming, so they're doing all this stuff to try to be secret, about it. And in the new one, or in Scary Movie, they're like, "Well, we're gonna dump the body." And the guy's getting up. He's like, "I'm okay. It's not necessary. You don't need to worry about it." And they're still, let's get rid of him. You know, what about the alcohol? We'll get rid of it too. You know,
it's so funny.
The bottle hits the guy in the head. And then I like it when the same scene where Cindy's like, let's did anybody check his wallet? And they're like, well, for what? And Brenda's like, well, he might have some money. I mean, heck, we already killed him. We might as well rob him too. So, but anyway, but part of what makes that scene so funny is knowing the source material. I mean, it's still funny on its own, but if you know the source material, it's even more hilarious. And same thing with all of the stuff where they're making fun of Scream and everything. So from that aspect, it's still a little outdated. It is still hilarious, though. This still made me laugh. Just some of the jokes you can get away with now without somebody being offended. Now, I think that's going to be kind of interesting when the new one comes out, because the Wayans brothers have said that this is going to have a lot of offensive jokes, and it should. Good. Because this is what this franchise does. It should be that. So again, some of the jokes were, you couldn't do them now, but there were also some jokes that were ahead of its time. And one specific joke was when we get to the Ms. Man segment. And after Ms. Man says we all have our little secrets, and Ms. Man walks up behind Cindy and starts massaging Cindy. Ms. Man says, you know, there are some things that you do and you do it for money. Other things that you do to get ahead on the athletic competition. I thought that was kind of interesting, because that's what big debate right now as to whether trans athletes should be allowed to participate in women's sports because of the unfair advantage. And that's the big debate right now as to whether there is an unfair advantage or not. And so that joke was ahead of its time. I don't know if you could do the joke now. I don't think you could, but it was a joke that was ahead of its time. So there's a lot of stuff there. Overall, the story, of course, it follows Scream's plot line, basically, and it throws in a few other things. It throws in I Know What You Did Last Summer. It throws in the Blair Witch. It throws in other famous horror movies during that time. Overall, though, it is still absolutely hilarious. The characters are crazy. The stuff they do and say. What's that?
Shorty.
So Shorty, I mean, he's hilarious. Yeah, but all the characters are crazy. And the jokes themselves, like I said, are kind of crazy. You know, it's some of my favorite ones are stuff like where Bobby, they're like, well, where's Bobby at? I don't know why he's always late. He lives so close. And the trailer is like parked right there in front of the school. I think that's hilarious. Or where Cindy turns around and tells him, would you like to have a PG-13 relationship? And she pulls up in her dress and some dude's body, like a dad bod. Um,
Uh,
so yeah, and of course it's extremely raunchy still.
oh yeah.
Josh mentioned that this was a movie that we went to the theaters to see together. Because of the way it was marketed, I mean, it was rated R, but of course, you didn't see a lot of the raunchiness in the trailer. So we had in our theater, there were people who had taken their kids and they were walking out within the first couple of minutes of the movie. And
No, of course.
so, yeah. And so, yeah, that's one of the few movies that I've ever been to where people were laughing hysterically, but you also saw a lot of walkouts because of that. And so it was interesting, but I still think the movie is hilarious. I do think it's a little outdated, but I think it's hilarious. A lot of good, funny jokes. I did laugh pretty hard. There's some stuff that doesn't make sense where like Brenda is mentioning that, why do you hang out with Buffy, Cindy? She's fake. I've seen what she's been doing, and notice how she mentioned the Puff Daddy parties.
Yes, I did notice that. Yep.
But yeah, there was a lot of little stuff like that throughout. Overall, though, it still made me laugh. I had a good time with this one watching it again. Doofy is hilarious. Where he's like, well, what's a god awful smell? I went poopy. Did you say you went poopy? Yeah, it was good.
That's what got
and then he's like, get him out of here. And of course, the one who's playing the sheriff is one of our favorite actors.
Yeah, right.
He's so good. Can you take a look at these pictures, Cindy? Do any
He's like, and as she's looking at him, and it's him like in a Speedo or whatever. She's like, no, and he's like, are you sure? You sure?
I think he was in panties.
And then he's like, here, take another look at this one again. Take it. She's like, no, you're sure? No. All right. Well, it was worth a try.
I love Doofy when he comes out of the room with the vacuum. I told you don't bother me when I'm cleaning my room.
Well, it's because of I mean, oh god, crazy movie. And there's little stuff like when Gail, when she sees Doofy and she takes his finger and she puts it in her mouth, and then after she does, she goes. It's just. So yeah, it's still funny, but it is definitely a little dated.
All right, Josh, go ahead.
I loved it. I've seen that movie so many times, and I watched it last night and the night before. Finished it. Actually, I watched part of it last night. Finished it today, and I laughed. I mean, yes, maybe it's outdated, but it's still funny. I mean, Bob and I, when we saw it together in the theater with Bob's cousin, and his cousin is so funny, and that whole part with Miss Man, his cousin was like, "What?"
He screams it out. What the?
And we were laughing just so hard in that movie. God, Doofy is just hilarious. I love Cindy's dad. Now, Daddy's got to go away for a couple of days.
It was crazy at the end of it where the dad's like, "Yeah, this crazy killer, he planted drugs all over the house."
And the cops come in, he's like this, and she's like, "Dad,"
he's like, "Put your hands down, Dad."
I love when the killer gets high and his face is all shriveled up, and he's like, "That's some good." And then Shorty, oh my god, just that, and then what's his? Is it Damon Wayans?
No,
It's
Sean Wayans and Marlon Wayans.
Yeah,
Marlon Wayans, the way he just, oh my god, he's like, "Last one in the shower is a rotten egg." And then there's stuff I want to say, but it's so...
I like it when he's got his girlfriend there and she's got his jersey on, And he's like, "Oh, you look so good in that. Here, put these on." And she hands his pants over and she puts them on. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you so sexy. Here, put this on." And he hands the shoulder pads over. And she's like, "Huh?" And he's like, "Yeah, just put it on, put it on." And so she puts it on and she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Yeah, he's great. Here, put this on." He hands the helmet over. But then he says little stuff like, he says, "Gosh, girl, I'd love to get in your pants." She goes, "Really, Ray? Yeah, what size are these?"
The Wayans have a good way of doing that. They play that very well. That trick is pretty good.
Oh man. There's some really good jokes on this one. And I don't even know which one I like more, the first or the second one, but this first one, gosh.
I give it to the first one only because it's the original one. Two is funny, but it's like more of the same of what the first one was.
You know what's funny is that all the characters die in the first one, but they're all back like in the second.
That's true.
Like they all die, because even Cindy dies at the end because she gets hit by the car.
That's right.
So you got Cindy back, Brenda back, Ray back, Shorty back. You know, and then of course a few new characters, but yeah, I think but yeah, it's funny how a bunch of them are back.
That is pretty hysterical. There's just no rhyme or reason to it. It's just they're all back now.
Are you talking about for the new movie? They're all back?
For the second one,
the second one.
Several, because they all die in the first one, every single one of them. But a bunch of them are back in the second.
Yeah, the second one was funny too. Bob and I like, "Take my hand, child. Give me your other hand." No, that's not strong enough.
What's it called in this one, man? When she wins the beauty pageant, and she goes up to the stage, and he's like, "Yeah, that's my girlfriend." And somebody else, "Yeah, that's my girlfriend too." "Hey, shut up, man." "Yeah, she's mine too."
I love when she goes, "Now, Mr. Bad Guy, is this where I break my leg?" And he goes, "Oh."
Well, that's what's funny is that in this, the killer gets grossed out by everything too.
Yeah.
My God. When she throws the grandmother down, and then the piano hits the grandmother. Oh my God. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. What was the part you said about Prince at the beginning, Bob, earlier today?
Oh yeah, when it's funny though, because it's just like real random. So first off, the character's name is Drew. The girl, you know, like after Drew Barrymore, so they named her Drew. Because she's supposed to be Drew Barrymore, who dies at the beginning of Scream. And the voice, he's just like or the killer, he's just like he's like, or she's like, "My boyfriend's coming, he's big and he's black and he's gonna kick her." And he's like, "Oh, you mean the one that wears makeup and dresses like a woman?" And she goes, "How do you know that?" He's like, "Turn on the light." And it's Prince out, I think, sitting out there all tied up.
Oh, I forgot what's his name. James Vanderbeek was in the movie. Did a cameo.
Yeah, he just makes a quick appearance.
That was fun. Oh, wrong set. I love it. "What's my name?" Cindy. Yes. Okay, Derek, what did you think?
So Bob is correct that this is both funny and outdated. I forgot just how much of a spoof this movie really is, because it's not. I mean, obviously it wants to spoof the horror movies, but you also saw in that clip the murderer doing the Matrix, like. Yeah. So it wasn't just those movies that they were spoofing here. They got a whole bunch of stuff in. I forgot about Doofy until I watched this again, and he's still like, there's like a 6-year-old in me that just laughs at that. I don't know why, but it's there.
He's not. He says,
"Doofy reporting for duty." I can't help it.
He's like, "Doofy, come smell this. And he's like, what's that? That's how you know you become a man. He's like, here, smell my finger. What is this? My ass.
But again, it goes back to some of the dialogue. Again, if you know Scream, it makes it hilarious. Like
Yes.
where she's insulting him, and he's like, "When I wear this badge, Mom says to respect me as an officer of the law." And that goes to David Arquette saying the same thing in Scream.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then she's like, "Cindy's coming home with us. Does Mom know?" And again, it goes back to the actual dialogue from the movie.
Mhm.
It's funnier if you know the source material.
Huh.
True.
Oh my God. That's so
And then
good.
probably one of the funniest scenes in the whole movie is when the killer gets high. That
I know,
mask,
right?
yeah, when the stone mask that the killer has is one of the funniest things you'll see.
Wrinkle. And then
Yes.
he freestyles.
Yes, hilarious. She's looking for the munchies at all times. Let's see. Oh, I had totally forgotten that Carmen Electra was in this. And how dare I? Because even if she doesn't have acting ability, there's plenty of other talent she used to have back then.
Oh, who?
Carmen Electra.
Oh God, yes.
Oh man.
Who played?
Hmm?
Sorry, who played the one who broke her leg? That was. What's the
hold
actor?
on.
She looks so similar to Shannon Elizabeth, but it's not her.
Well, that was the point.
I know.
Let me see. Well, it is Shannon Elizabeth.
It is?
Yes.
And that's also what I wanted to mention here is that, yes, that is Shannon Elizabeth, and she plays Buffy Gilmore.
Buffy Gilmore.
Which is funny that she plays it because she's supposed to be playing what's her name? Sarah Michelle Gellar's character from I Know What You Did Last Summer, and she's known for being Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yep.
That's funny.
So man, I forgot how much of a Hakamani Shannon Elizabeth used to be back in her day too.
When we were
She
in
was
college.
she was a big deal at one point. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that one scene where she's like, I really want to help my fellow man, and that bum comes up and he's like, "Can I have $1?" "Oh, get away from me, you bum!" And Cindy's like, "Oh, he's just hungry. Here, sir, here's a nice sandwich." "I said $1," and he throws a sandwich.
I mean, that's the other part about this too, is that so much of this you can't do today at all. But back then, that was standard affair for us. Like, right, wrong, or indifferent. It's what it was. And this wasn't this one. They did a lot of movies like this. This wasn't the only one, but not by a stretch. And there was like disaster movie, an epic movie, and like there were a boatload of these.
But this then took the cake. I mean, this is what started this one.
Yeah, this is what started it all. Yeah.
God, Scary Movie 2 was still funny too.
It was. I forgot that Anna Faris, this is kind of where she got her start.
Yes.
Yeah. Correct.
Because I don't remember her being in anything else until I saw her here.
Oh.
She was only 23 at the time.
That's crazy. Yeah, she was not too far off. She was not too far ahead of us in college.
No, she
when
looked
this came
incredible in the second one. I thought she looked incredible in the second one.
Did you guys ever see Observe and Report?
Oh, with oh God, why am I blanking on his name?
Seth Rogen. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think I ever saw that one.
Well, she's in the movie, and she plays a perfect ditz. It's so good. And that, if you want to talk about a movie with a lot of jokes you can't play today, you're going to want to watch that one. It's pretty brutal.
Which movie was that about? I'm trying to remember.
Observe and Report is about a mall security cop who has a parking lot flasher on the loose. And Brandy, who is the ditz, gets flashed. And Seth Seth Rogen, who is like madly in love, but it's more like obsessed with this girl. He tries to become a cop in the process, and hilarity ensues with all of it. So that's it.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. So
Did you
It's pretty funny.
movie too, Derek?
Yes, a while ago. I'd have to go back and watch that again too.
Hey, lady, I don't need your help. I can do it myself. Do you think your wife will expect anything? Who?
yeah, Tim Curry was hilarious in the second one.
Why
Yeah.
don't the two of you experiment?
God. Pretty awesome. These movies were. Anything back in our time is, you got to remember, like, the humor was just ridiculous, and you could put just random stupid stuff like that in a movie and probably get a laugh out of all of us. You probably can't do that now. A bunch of the kids would be like, "This is dumb," and F them for that.
It was.
No, but you
Yes,
know what? They
that's
did
what's
that with
funny.
Naked Gun. They did that with Liam Neeson and Pam Anderson in Naked Gun. I thought they did a great job.
Yeah, but again, it's a little. Yeah, with Liam Neeson and Pam Anderson, again, they're not actually spoofing a movie per se, though. They're a bunch of silly jokes, and it's that slapstick style humor, that silly humor, the parody humor. But with Scary Movie, they're spoofing movies. So that'll be interesting to see which ones Scary Movie 6 will actually spoof.
Probably like The Conjuring and
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe
that'd be funny.
they might. Maybe like have Annabelle running around.
But very funny, and go watch it if you're just up for a good laugh, or you need something to cheer you up. This will probably do a pretty good job giving it a try. So
Do not show it to the kids, though.
Oh
do
no!
not put them to bed immediately. If
The
you're
movie
even
theater
interested.
scene. The movie theater scene with when Brenda can't stop talking. Shut up! Shut up!
See, and that was from the second Scream.
Okay, yeah.
That whole movie theater sequence, and then they got the dang hole. I don't want to go too deep into it.
Stop. No, don't.
Because in the original, it was supposed to be a knife that went through the stall from Scream 2. So, and again, they did something different.
Yes, they did, and I think we can leave it at that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Very good. Very good decision,
Yeah.
Bob.
Give it a go. Have fun, Bob. Thanks for the suggestion, because this was fun. And go ahead and stick it out yourselves if you'd like to just have really nothing serious around in your life, because once you put this on, all anything serious is pretty much going to go out the window. And hopefully that's what you're looking for. So glad we got a chance to talk about that and revisit that one. All right. Well, so looks like we've hit the end of the topics for the evening. I think it's time to finish this one off, if we could.
It's so good. It gets better and better each week.
All right. Boys,
He gets so serious.
we're going to talk about a tough topic this evening.
Oh, God.
You ever find yourselves, we all have, haven't we? Growing up, and sometimes we get lost. And I'm not talking about that loss like on Waze, where you go the wrong direction and then it starts yelling at you to do a bunch of stuff and it really annoys you. Turn left, turn right, make a U-turn, turn left on 3rd Avenue. Shut up. I'm not talking about that level of loss. I'm talking about how we can make mistakes. Maybe go down a path we weren't anticipating. Shouldn't do it, but hey, we're human. We do. Maybe you get to a point where you think that you kind of know it all. That you say to yourself, my opinion's really the one that's right here. If you really appreciated Nickelback on your playlist like I did, then no, never mind. But sometimes we think our opinions are the most important ones. sometimes you feel like becoming the troll. We all know what that troll is. It's an ugly, ugly piece of work, isn't it? What kind of a person gets on there and insults Cindy's brunch with her 5 friends the other day? What kind of a person does that? There's no need to do that. It was just Eggs Benedict, for God's sakes. What you didn't have to get that mean about things. Just sitting there insulting things that you think are just dumb like that. You keep that to yourself. And sometimes we also have a tendency to get a little angry, a little too angry about things, where it's an overreaction. Now, yes, I have the 49er football situation I'm up against right now. Luckily, they're winning, but that could change at any point, and I could get very mad about that, and I could express it in ways that are undeserving. For example, my son wanted some dessert after the game where they lost to the Jaguars, and I just pushed that little son of a bitch aside. Said, "Not now." I didn't do that. That's not true. But my point being, thank you, Bob. My point being, sometimes you get lost. Sometimes you take on bad qualities like the ones I just mentioned. You just don't look like a real good, smart individual when you do stuff like that. Now, does that mean you're a bad person? No, because we can always have a chance to correct ourselves. But when you have qualities like the one I just mentioned, you generally are an AEW fan now, aren't you?
Wow.
Told you were going to pay for that. And that's it for thoughts and feelings this evening.
Still your favorite segment, Josh?
I don't even know what he talked about. That was the most boring 5 minutes of my life right there.
Oh, yeah? Well, I got the point across, didn't I?
Good Lord.
Punishment part 1.
Wonderful. So happy.
All right. Having said that, I think we can sign up for the night. Let's go through social media. Josh, hit it up. What you got?
Well, now that I'm half asleep, thanks to that rant, you can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm the Family Man of the Valley.
All right, Bob, hit us.
You can find me on my YouTube channel, Was It Good, at Bob Loves Movies. You can also find me over on Criticless and X. Also, I'm on the MSK show on Mondays, well, most of the time. And then it looks like I'm going to be doing another show on Fridays called The Last Panel. So check that out.
All right. Now, I may be with all the old people, but hey, it could be worse. It could be an AEW show. So find me over on LinkedIn and Facebook. Wow. Now, we should mention this. Next week is a very special episode, folks. So you should join us next week because it's going to be the Halloween episode. We're going to have a guest. We'll leave that to who that's going to be then. But please do join us because it should be a good one. We're going to be reviewing some classics from back in the day in terms of good old-fashioned slasher flicks. We can't wait to talk about that and see you guys then.
And we're dressing up. We'll be in costume.
Yes, fine, Josh. I can't wait to see you whenever your Cinderella dress is going to be. All right. Having said that,
you got to wear something too. Better go to the store.
This is what I'm wearing. See, I'm going to be an amazing dad. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
So now that is all done, let's sign up for the night. Thank you, folks. Appreciate you joining us. We'll see you all next week.
Have a good night.